I might have to have a little bit of a bigger radius to cover the wire. Good Wednesday morning. After fiberglassing this corner here all the way around, I've got to do the same on this side. Today, my mission is put this wire in this corner and cove this corner. This is a wire that goes from the panel, 12 volt wire for the navigation lights up forward. What's going to happen on the other side of this bulkhead, there's a floor right there inside the ankle locker. So how do I get in there? But anyway, there's a hatch going in here. The maximum size I can get it. I don't know if you caught that, but for a moment I wondered what the hissing sound was. And when I drilled a hole through, there was this gush of air coming out. I haven't been into this area for quite a long time. But I guess you can guess what goes on here. Let's radius the corner for the wire. This is a little fan that'll extract the air from inside here through the transom, through a pipe, and it's a 24 volt little fan. It's going to run on 12 volts. And apparently that's what you do to quieten the fan down. So it's not running at its peak output. It's just basically idling away. I'm using some acetone here to clean the corner so the hot glue has the best chance of sticking. Right, we're ready for the hot gluing. Why have I got two hot glue guns here? This one's a high temperature one and this is a low temperature one, the one that I normally use for the polystyrene. But I found this one sticking onto fiberglass when I was building the cabin was pretty useless, and sometimes from what I've seen of other people's experience, it's the glue itself. Some glue is really good and some of it's really low quality. So I'm going to try both. I'll try the low temperature first. This is going to take a while because hot glue takes a while to cool down. There is no way to really speed it up. My finger's stuck. Ooh, that's looking really good. Really good. So, of course, the less I use of it, the quicker it'll go. So, maybe 2 dabs at a time. Oh, that's working so well. Well, that went quite well. I don't expect the bond to be extremely high for the hot glue, but it's good enough. And then I can continue this cove around here. I might have to increase the size of the cove a little bit to get the radius in there. I always sharpen my scissors every time I cut fiberglass. It just makes it go so much better. Maybe they're not very high quality scissors, but it certainly helps. And all it takes is just that. When you really notice if the scissors aren't sharp is when you cut peel ply. For doing the corners, coving the corners, I tend not to use the bag anymore because there's much more control. Just pushed a bit through there. There's much more control and you need less passes with the tool, and you can get just about the right amount so you don't get too much squeezing out the sides. I might have to have a little bit of a bigger radius to cover the wire. I'm a little bit concerned that the air expanding or contracting in there was going to either suck or blow out this filler. So what I did at lunchtime was close the shed and let the place heat up a bit in here, and then now after lunch I'm applying this coving. Theoretically things should be cooling down, although I notice the sun's really just come out. Fingers crossed. Looking good. Got to blend it into this one here, although the glass cloth does that to some degree. Okay, I've got to keep this at about 20 degrees. Yeah, that's good. Theoretically, this is the last of the coving for a while. And that didn't go well. The good thing is you put a bit of fiberglass on there and it tends to be a bit of self-coving. Got to be so careful because this is very soft at the moment. I can see a bubble forming from the space inside there trying to push through the coving, which is a bit unfortunate. The cloth seems to have much more stitching on one side than the other, so the side with less stitching protruding, you know, I always try to keep that at the top. I've got a bit of a method where I'll put the peel ply on here now while the resin's still quite flowy, but not put it down there until I've got the next strip down there. When the next strip is down there, then I'll put this one on. It's really not my favourite part, doing peel ply. Remember that corner that was so messy with filler just half an hour ago? Well, that's what I love about this method. Putting the tape on when the coving filler is still flexible. It's great. Saves so much sanding. that's it, guys. Some of you have been here from the beginning. That's awesome. And you've just witnessed me completing probably 99.9% of the fiberglassing inside this boat and on the outside. I am very happy to say. The wire got hidden better than I thought it would. It's a slightly larger cove. That's absolutely fine. You could say that that's the beginning of the electrical work. And there's a strong possibility that I'll be getting onto the electrical next week if I complete this week the rest of the little jobs I want to do. The glassing's finished around here. This is where the Paulownia timber meets the PET foam. It's a good integration. I'm quite happy with it. You look this way and you can't see any foam. Now that the paint's on, far less light is shining through the PET foam. In fact, hardly any at all, which is good and bad. It used to light up the quarter berths quite well when the sunlight was shining through the foam. Now that was quite satisfying. When I'm lying in my quarter berth here, I'm going to be looking at this a lot. And it's good enough. I will not miss fiberglassing. Very happy with that. It's a good thing. Good morning. Last morning before this video goes out, and my mission today is to do some more finishing of the interior. I've been masking the edges of these little bulkheads. I'm going to apply some epoxy with some graphite in it to darken the colour and toughen it up a bit, and a little bit of carbosil. Okay, here goes. Of course, the first coat is going to sink right in. I'd prefer to do this at the end of the day when things are cooling, because it's quite a cool morning, but there's a chance that bubbles could be coming out of the timber as the temperature goes up in the timber. So basically I'm going to be doing wet on wet coats. I'm going to try and get all the coats on today and take the masking tape off before it cures too hard. Although I've sort of made it so that if you sand this face, it'll trim up the black paint. After that first coat, it was pretty predictable that I'd get some bubbles because it's the time of the day when things are warming. But it's a good start, and as long as I probably get a coat on at the end of the day when things are cooling, then it'll be sucking the resin into the wood rather than blowing the air out and creating bubbles. And of course, after the first coat, I forgot my phone, and what do? When I came back in the boat, I put my hand on top of there, as I always do when I come inside the boat.
In the absence of finding anything suitable for the electrical panel I was going to make for the 12 volts and 24 volts, I decided to make one up out of carbon twill and a sandwich with some fiberglass as well. And here I'm spraying on some PVA release. Here I'm putting the resin down first over the PVA release, and I'm doing this because in the past when I've put the carbon twill down dry and then put the resin on top, I've ended up with pinholes on the side. That's the downside of it, and that's a problem. That's not always easy to fix, that situation. So hopefully this time, by putting the resin down first, as you do with gel coat before you put fiberglass on, I'm hoping there'll be no pinholes. It is a little bit harder to get the carbon twill fabric weave lined up in straight lines doing it this way when you're putting it onto a wet surface. It's much easier when it's dry, but you do get the pinholes. I put a second layer of carbon on, and this one's not so critical because it's behind the surface carbon. I did this because you want a dark color behind the top surface, because the resin allows you to see through the carbon twill, and you want a dark color or even painted black surface. If I'd left this for a day, I would have put some graphite into these successive layers than the surface layer. But this way, using a second layer of carbon twill, hopefully you won't see any of the fiberglass lighter color that I'm going to be putting on and another 3 layers. And I'm finishing off, which will be the inside, with another layer of carbon. If you've made it this far, thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. And next time around, you'll see the results of what I did on all those bulkhead trims, and also this panel, which will hopefully be finished next week. See you then.